Hi guys, it's Jamie here, and it's day 11 of the Dephemerember challenge, which was machine sewing or hand sewing and postcard. I've combined the two prompts to hand sew onto a piece of paper and create a postcard that includes a letter home from my grandfather to his mother back in India. Before we go to how to draw this up and how to sew it and the two different stitches used, let's do a little bit of business first. If you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help other people on YouTube see it. If you're not already subscribed, please consider it. It will be a lovely Christmas gift for me. And let me know what you think in the comments of this idea of embroidering onto paper. Now we're going to go back to the very start so you can see how I did this. This is something I did maybe 4 months ago as a video, but some of you are new and will have missed it, so I'm going to do it again, which is to do some hand sewing on a piece of paper that basically creates an embroidery without having to be able to draw. One way to do it, I decided, and will fit my mum's junk journal, will be to use a mandala stencil, a simple one, because I don't want it to take me a week, and just colour in the stencil. It doesn't really matter what ink we use at this point, because we're doing this simply to know where to sew. Now we have a pattern to follow. This paper is a little thicker than copy paper. I'm going to say 110 to 120 GSM, but it's not cardstock. I've got a colour that's similar-ish, and I'm going to do some scruffy stitching, I think it's called. I think the other one is maybe a French knot. I don't know what they're called. I just know I've seen them and they're easy. A knot at the bottom. We're going to start with the scruffy stitching. Oops, there we go, already gone wrong. It's difficult to judge where the needle's going to come up. And then just, I'm actually going to try and see if I can do it by bending it. And maybe even going back on myself or coming back and filling that in. Paper is not a material you normally stitch that much on. I know that people do in junk journaling stitch on paper. This is just various lengths of stitches following the lines that have already been made. So you can't go too close to a previous hole or it will just join with the other one and make a great big slitty hole, which you don't really want. So where I'm going and what I'm doing is pretty random in the sense of how long the stitches are going to be. I will come back with the second stitch when I've finished doing this inner flower, and we'll use the second stitch on these fleur-de-lis here. In a slightly different colour, we're going to do a different stitch on this one. Now, if you wanted to and you had the time, you could fill this out with a white or a cream thread or a different colour thread. I'm going to leave it as it is. This stitch, I think I saw Rachel from Roxy's challenge do. So you put your needle here and you wrap the thread around the needle. She does it twice. I tend to do it as many times as I feel like. And then you go down and it creates, obviously with paper you can't go down too closely. I think I might have just gone down a bit too close. A bubbly effect. By doing two different stitches, oops, got a bit of a loop on that one. I don't think it matters too much personally. By doing two different stitches, you end up with a different effect on the card. Needle down. Not easy to do with nails, by the way. 1, 2, 3, and then pick it up, hold down, and pull it through. Hopefully this time I'm going to hold it, try and make it a little bit tighter, and then you've got a bit better knot there. Do that again, hold it there, wrap, 1, 2, 3, pull it down, push through, but when we push through, what I'm going to do is hold that thread against the card, that knotted bit, the wrapped bit, and you can see that you're getting a different texture. I'm going to follow all of these and then see how we feel about that stage. The hand sewing element is now done. Not perfectly done, but done. I've printed up a pretend postcard that's going to be about the right size. I know normally you'd put the address there, but I am going to glue that to the front like it's a postcard decoration, and then probably stain it a little to over these edges. I might do that before I put it on. I'm wondering which stain's going to work. Probably the tea dye. Yeah, I think that might work a little. So I'm going to work this round. We're never going to get an exact match. I'm going to use the silicone glue. I'm going to put a weight on this and let it dry. This is fully stuck down. I'm debating whether to add some stamping or anything to it. There's something not quite right with it. I've yet to decide how to fix that. On the reverse, I had printed a different postcard, but it was the wrong size. It was slightly too small. I want my mother to be able to write on this if she wants to. So I'm going to not get rid of it completely, just dull it down a bit. And it gives it that junk journal look anyway, that I'm reusing stuff, not throwing anything away. I'm upcycling look. I'm just trying to make sure that the paint goes on reasonably smoothly so you can write. There's not too much lumps and bumps in there. Now I may need to add something along these borders so that break makes a bit of sense. I found a solution. I've printed up one of the letters that was sent back to India from my grandfather to his mother. I'm not quite sure what it says. I'll give it a go. My dear mother, this is 1947. I'm sending you, as promised, the postal code for postal something for £1 postal order. I'm sending you, as promised, a postal order for £1. It will help to keep you well about this time, and then it's pretty faded. I will send you another £1. It's very, very faint. It's obviously ink pen and then scanned. I wish also I could come to see you, but I do not know the cost. It's about £150, and then he's obviously put in here what it is in Indian currency to come to India. And then there's something about India. My wife and children will be happy. Oh, something about wishing to return to India, but he doesn't believe his wife and children will be happy there, nor will anyone in India except me. And he's got jealousy, and then it's too faded again. So I think he's saying that he misses India and would love to return, but my grandma was white and from London, and I think at this point he'd already had my mum, so he's got 3 children at this point. And obviously he has a job, he's a vicar. This is sent from the vicarage in Peterborough. It's sad that he missed India and his parents. Anyway, what little I could read there, and I'm sorry that was very faltering. You get the gist. No politics in that one. Now we know where I get my political brain from. I've trimmed off the top of it, and what I thought I would do is just, even though it's not going to him is glue this onto here. I know it's taking up some of that design, but I don't mind collaging over the design a little bit and where it's from. And then on the back, take off the edges on this and add that as well. I think to do that, I want to just distress these edges. It's a slightly different colour to that distressing. I think this is all going to be okay. It's a bit of a strange design. It will only slightly go over the design. I'm wondering if we can get it on without it going over the design at all by doing it at an angle. I think my mum will just be amazed that I've gone to this effort. I'm hoping it will be a very pleasant surprise. I know my granddad would not be sending a mandala design from the UK to India in 1947. It would be the other way round, but artistic license. What am I going to do with this letter? Am I going to just fold it up and put it on the back so you could lift it and still write on the card? What is the solution? Even if I cut it down, it's not going to fully fit. You could fold it, trim this off, fold it and attach it. I vegged it all the way around. The best way to attach it is so the blank side shows, because then you can open it out and read it. I'm going to attach that full piece down. I think this is basically the project complete. Everything's now firmly down. This opens out and is firmly down. That's it. Don't forget, if you have enjoyed this video, to press a thumbs up, as it does help people see the video. Let me know what you think of this idea in the comments below, and if you're not already, please subscribe, and I will see you next time.